Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something truly powerful, the restoration of your wasted years. We've all faced setbacks, disappointments, and times when life didn't turn out as we expected. Maybe you felt like the years have passed by with no progress, or you've watched opportunities slip through your fingers. But I want to tell you, friends, that your story is far from over. God is in the business of restoring what was lost, redeeming the years that seemed wasted, and bringing you into a new season of favor and abundance. When God is about to restore your wasted years, one of the first signs you'll notice is a significant shift in your spirit. This isn't just a surface-level change, but a deep, internal transformation. It's as if something stirs in your soul, an awakening of hope and expectancy that had previously been dormant. In times of struggle or delay, it's easy to become discouraged, to let disappointment take root, and to lose sight of the good things God has for you. But when restoration is on the horizon, God will begin to shift your inner world, preparing you for the new things He is about to do. You might not be able to see it right away in your circumstances, but you will begin to feel a change in your heart. It's a change that begins internally, deep within your spirit. You may have experienced times where you felt stuck, or perhaps you've carried the weight of past regrets, failures, or mistakes. During those moments, it may have felt as though your future was uncertain, as if the best years of your life were behind you. But when God is at work, He doesn't just want to restore your outward circumstances, He begins by restoring your heart. And that restoration always starts with a shift in your spirit. This shift in your spirit manifests itself in several ways. First, you'll notice a change in how you view your future. Where there once was fear or hopelessness, you'll begin to feel a growing confidence that God has something good in store for you. The uncertainty that once clouded your vision will begin to clear, and you'll start to believe again that your best days are ahead of you. The past disappointments and setbacks will no longer define you. Instead, you'll begin to see opportunities, open doors, and possibilities that you hadn't noticed before. It's as if God is opening your eyes to the blessings He's preparing for you. This renewed perspective is a sign that God is restoring the hope that may have been lost over time. It's easy to become disillusioned after enduring hardships, particularly when those hardships last for longer than we expected. The feeling of waiting for restoration can often lead to discouragement, and it's easy to let those feelings settle deep in our hearts. But God is reminding you that His plans for you are good, and He has not forgotten you. The shift in your spirit is a sign that He's aligning you with His timing and His purpose for your life. In addition to this renewed sense of hope, you'll begin to feel a new level of peace in your spirit. Peace is a fruit of the Holy Spirit, and when God is about to restore your wasted years, He will flood your heart with a peace that transcends understanding. This peace isn't dependent on your circumstances or the state of the world around you. It's a peace that comes from the confidence that God is in control. Even if your situation hasn't fully changed yet, you'll feel the weight lift from your shoulders. The anxiety, worry, and stress that have weighed you down will begin to dissipate, replaced by a calm assurance that God is at work. This peace also prepares you for the restoration that's coming. It's like God is saying, "I've got you. Trust me, I'm making things right." Even if you can't see it yet, peace is a signal that God is moving on your behalf. When God is about to restore your wasted years, He'll give you this inner peace as a confirmation that the process of restoration has already begun, even if the evidence hasn't fully manifested in your life. Along with peace, you'll begin to notice an increase in your faith. As God shifts your spirit, your trust in Him will grow stronger. You may have gone through a season where your faith felt weak, or you struggled to see how things could improve. But when God begins to restore your wasted years, your faith will rise to new heights. You'll start to believe that the promises He made to you will come to pass. This shift in your faith allows you to step into the restoration process with greater confidence and anticipation. It's important to recognize that this shift in your spirit doesn't necessarily mean that everything will immediately look different on the outside. The circumstances may still be difficult, but the internal change is the first sign that God is preparing you for the change that is to come. It's a shift that prepares your heart to receive the blessings and opportunities that are on the way. This internal shift also gives you the strength to endure as you continue to trust God's timing. Another key aspect of this internal shift is the renewing of your passion. Maybe at one point you lost your passion for certain areas of your life, your dreams, your relationships, or your career. Life's challenges can sometimes dim our passion. But when restoration is near, God will reignite the fire within you. You'll find yourself eager again to pursue the things that once brought you joy. You'll rediscover your purpose, and your enthusiasm will return. This renewed passion is a sign that God is about to bring a fresh season into your life, one where you're not just going through the motions, but where you're actively engaging in the life He has for you. The shift in your spirit is not just an emotional experience, it's a spiritual preparation. God is aligning your heart, your mind, and your soul to receive the fullness of what He has for you. The shift is an invitation to embrace the restoration that's coming. It's about letting go of past pain, releasing old regrets, and embracing the new opportunities and blessings God is preparing for you. Friends, when you feel that shift in your spirit, it's a sign that God is about to do something extraordinary in your life. He's stirring up a new season of restoration, and He's preparing you for the abundance that's ahead. The shift in your spirit will lead you into a place of peace, hope, and faith, where you can confidently believe that God is making all things new. Keep your heart open and your spirit expectant, because the best is yet to come. God is about to restore your wasted years, and it starts with a powerful shift within you. When restoration is on the horizon, one of the most significant signs that God is about to work is that you will begin to experience peace in the midst of uncertainty. Life's challenges often bring stress, anxiety, and confusion. You may have been navigating through difficult times, not knowing what's coming next, feeling like you've been stuck in a season of unanswered prayers. Yet, in the midst of all of this, God will begin to fill your heart with a peace that transcends understanding. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It's an inner calm that comes from knowing that God is in control and that His plans for you are good, no matter how uncertain things might seem right now. It's easy to let fear and worry take over when you don't know how things will turn out. We all know what it's like to face situations where everything seems uncertain, the future is unknown, and the path ahead appears unclear. In times like these, the temptation is to become anxious, to overthink everything, or to allow doubt to creep in. But the peace that God offers in these moments is a calm assurance that He's with you, even when the answers are not yet visible. This peace is a powerful sign that God is beginning to shift the atmosphere of your life. It's a signal that He's working behind the scenes, setting things into motion, even if you can't see it with your natural eyes yet. The peace God provides during these seasons of uncertainty does not erase the challenges you face, but it helps you to navigate them with a sense of trust and security. You may not know how everything will unfold, but deep inside, you have the quiet confidence that God's hand is guiding you through it all. This peace settles your spirit and replaces worry with trust. It's a peace that quiets your heart, allowing you to focus on God's goodness rather than on the chaos around you. As the Bible says in Philippians 4:7, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace becomes a shield for your heart, protecting you from fear, anxiety, and confusion. When God is preparing to restore your wasted years, He gives you this peace as a precursor to the breakthroughs that are on the way. It's as if He's saying, "I've got this. Trust me, I'm orchestrating things behind the scenes, and I will make all things work together for your good." In the moments when the storm seems overwhelming, this peace allows you to rest, knowing that God's timing is perfect and that He's at work in your life. It's a reminder that no matter how chaotic things may seem, God has not abandoned you. His peace is evidence that He's on the move, bringing you closer to the restoration and the new season He has planned for you. Along with the peace that accompanies God's restoration comes an increase in faith. When God is preparing to restore your wasted years, you will notice a shift in your faith too. Perhaps you face seasons of doubt, wondering whether the promises of God would ever come to pass, or if you would ever see your dreams fulfilled. But as you sense that peace settling in, your faith begins to rise. You'll find yourself trusting God more deeply, believing that His promises are true, and that He is able to bring about the restoration you need. This renewed faith gives you the strength to keep going, to continue trusting even when the answers are not immediately visible. This shift in your faith is important because it sets the foundation for what God is about to do in your life. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to the restoration you've been waiting for. As your faith increases, you begin to speak life over your situation rather than dwelling on fear and doubt. You start to declare that God is for you and that His plan for your life is far greater than anything you could have imagined. This strengthened faith, empowered by the peace of God, equips you to face any challenge with the confidence that God is already working on your behalf. The peace you experience is not only a personal gift but also a testimony to others. When people around you see you navigating difficult times with peace in your heart, it becomes a witness to them that God is real and that He works in miraculous ways. Your peace becomes a beacon of hope to others who are struggling. They will see that even in the midst of uncertainty, you are able to remain calm and hopeful. This peace is contagious, and it draws others to the peace that only God can provide. In addition to the peace and the increased faith, when God is restoring your wasted years, you may also experience a sense of renewal in your relationships. Perhaps you've had strained relationships, broken connections, or unresolved conflicts. But as God works in your heart, you may begin to feel a desire to heal those relationships, to forgive, and to restore what was once lost. God's peace works to mend brokenness not only in your circumstances but in your connections with others. You'll find that your heart softens, that you have the ability to forgive those who have hurt you, and that you can extend grace in ways you hadn't been able to before. This peace works on your relationships, clearing out bitterness and bringing about healing and reconciliation. In the process of restoration, the peace you experience will help you to trust the process. Sometimes restoration doesn't happen overnight, and it may take longer than you expected. But the peace God provides enables you to wait with patience and trust. It allows you to remain steady, knowing that God's plan is unfolding in its perfect timing. Even though you might not see all the pieces of the puzzle right now, you have the confidence that God is putting everything into place. The second sign that God is about to restore your wasted years is that your dreams will be revived. Dreams are powerful. They give us direction, hope, and purpose. But sometimes life's challenges, failures, disappointments, and setbacks can cause our dreams to wither. It can feel like those dreams are no longer attainable, or that perhaps they were never meant to be. But when God is about to restore your wasted years, He will breathe new life into those dreams, awakening them in your heart once again. It's a beautiful process. When God revives your dreams, you begin to see things from a new perspective. What once seemed impossible now feels within reach. You start to dream again with greater clarity and confidence. The desires of your heart that you thought were long gone are revived, and you begin to see God's hand working to make them a reality. The dreams that once lay dormant are now stirring, filled with new energy and potential. You may find that God is expanding your vision, causing you to dream bigger than you ever have before. Where there once was doubt, there is now faith. Where there was a sense of hopelessness, there is now a renewed sense of possibility. This is the work of God in your life, reviving your dreams and bringing them back to life. It's a clear sign that He is preparing you for the fulfillment of His promises. Your dreams are coming alive again, and you'll find the strength to pursue them with passion and purpose. As God begins to restore your wasted years, one of the most noticeable signs is the revival of your dreams. Life's disappointments, setbacks, and unexpected detours can often cause our dreams to fade or feel unachievable. We may lose the spark of hope that once ignited our passion for certain goals. Over time, the dreams we held dear may feel buried beneath the weight of our past struggles. However, when God is preparing to restore your life, one of the first things He does is breathe new life into those very dreams, reviving them and stirring them in your heart once again. This revival is not just about reigniting old ambitions, it's about giving you a fresh vision of your future. The dreams that once felt distant or impossible will suddenly seem within reach, and you'll begin to feel an excitement and enthusiasm that you haven't felt in years. This renewed sense of purpose is a powerful sign that God is at work. He is restoring what was once lost and reminding you that His promises are still alive. Dreams that you may have put on hold or thought were never meant to be fulfilled are now being resurrected, and you'll find yourself filled with hope and anticipation for the future. In this process, you'll also notice that your faith will grow. As your dreams are revived, so too will your belief in God's ability to bring them to fruition. You'll begin to see that the same God who made promises to you in the past is faithful to fulfill them now. Your revived dreams are a reminder that God's timing is perfect, and even if you haven't seen the results yet, the seed of faith that was planted in your heart is now beginning to sprout. This revival is a clear sign that restoration is not just about restoring what was lost, but about enhancing and elevating your life to a place where your dreams can be realized in a way greater than you ever imagined. The next sign that God is preparing to restore your wasted years is the alignment of opportunities. When restoration is near, opportunities begin to appear that you may have never expected. Closed doors will open, new connections will be made, and doors that once seemed shut will swing wide open. It's as though God is orchestrating events behind the scenes to bring everything into alignment for your benefit. The things that once seemed out of reach or unattainable are now coming into your life with ease. These opportunities may come in many forms: new job prospects, unexpected promotions, business ventures, or even relationships that are strategically positioned to help you grow. What's important to recognize is that these opportunities are not coincidental. They are God's way of preparing you for the restoration of your years. These new paths are designed to lead you into the fullness of His plan for your life. As you move forward, you may find that the struggles and delays you faced in the past were part of the process, as they have now prepared you for these new opportunities. But it's not just about the doors opening, it's about your readiness to step through them. Often, when God begins to align opportunities, we may be hesitant or unsure, especially if we've faced repeated disappointments. However, the peace that comes with God's restoration helps you step out in faith. You will find the courage to take bold steps toward your dreams, knowing that God is with you and that He is opening these doors. He is making a way where there seemed to be no way. In addition to the opportunities, you will also see that God aligns the resources needed to fulfill your purpose. Whether it's financial provision, wisdom, support from others, or even time and energy, God will make sure that the resources you need are available. These resources will come at just the right time, enabling you to move forward in the direction God is leading you. Along with revived dreams and new opportunities, you will also experience the alignment of resources. These resources are not just material, they are also spiritual and emotional. As you walk in God's restoration, you will find that the strength to pursue your dreams is renewed. You will find the courage to face challenges, the wisdom to make decisions, and the support you need from people who are placed in your life at the right moment. This alignment is a key sign that God is at work, restoring your wasted years and leading you into a season of fulfillment. Another key sign of restoration is that God will restore what seems lost. When you look at your life and see the years that may have been wasted or the opportunities that were missed, it's easy to feel as though some things are irreparably lost. There are times when we carry the weight of regrets, feeling like we can never go back and recover what was once ours. But with God, nothing is truly lost. His restoration power is able to reclaim what was seemingly lost, and He can redeem the years that were wasted. This process of restoration involves more than just giving you back what was taken. It's about taking those lost years and turning them into something better, something greater than what you originally envisioned. God specializes in redeeming time. He has the power to bring you into a season of fulfillment that surpasses anything you could have imagined. The things that were lost or delayed in your life are not beyond His ability to restore. He is able to take your mistakes, missed opportunities, and the things that seem irreparable, and make them work together for your good. In this season of restoration, you will not only receive back what was lost, but also see it multiplied. This may come in the form of new opportunities, new relationships, or even a deeper sense of purpose. The restoration of your wasted years is not about returning to the past, but about moving forward into a new future filled with blessings, breakthroughs, and fulfillment. As God restores what seems lost, He also heals the areas of your life that were affected by the things you've been through. The hurt, disappointment, and discouragement that once defined you will no longer hold you back. Instead, you will emerge from the process of restoration stronger, wiser, and more confident in God's ability to bring good out of every situation. What was once a place of pain will become a place of strength, and you will be able to look back with gratitude, knowing that God has worked all things together for your good. When God is about to restore your wasted years, one of the most powerful signs you will experience is the realignment of your purpose and direction. After enduring times of delay, disappointment, and uncertainty, it's easy to lose sight of the dreams and goals that once gave your life purpose. You may have questioned whether those dreams were meant for you, or whether you had missed your chance altogether. But when God begins to restore, He does not leave you in a place of confusion. Instead, He reignites your sense of purpose. It's as though He lifts the fog that has clouded your vision and gives you fresh clarity about what you're meant to do. This realignment isn't just a shift in your circumstances, but a deep internal stirring. You may feel a renewed excitement to pursue goals that once seemed distant or unattainable. The desires of your heart will begin to align with God's will for your life, and you'll experience an overwhelming sense of direction. What once seemed unclear or out of reach now feels attainable. God has a plan, and He begins to reveal it to you in a way that stirs your soul and gives you the courage to step out in faith. You begin to understand that everything you've gone through has positioned you for the next step in fulfilling your purpose. This restoration is not simply about recovering lost time, but about entering into a new season of meaningful impact. With this realignment of purpose also comes an increased sense of motivation and energy. The weariness you once felt from striving on your own will begin to fade, replaced by a supernatural drive that comes from knowing that you are walking in alignment with God's plan. This renewed passion is a clear sign that restoration is underway. God will restore your energy and motivation to go after what He's called you to do, even if it seems daunting at first. Where there was once uncertainty, there is now renewed vigor to take action. You will find yourself moving forward with a sense of urgency, knowing that the time to pursue your purpose is now. As you experience this renewed sense of direction, you will also notice that your priorities begin to shift. No longer will you be consumed by distractions or worldly concerns. Instead, your focus will become clear, and your heart will be set on the things that matter most. This realignment helps you shed the things that were weighing you down and hindering your progress. Your energy will now be directed toward what truly matters: the restoration of your dreams, the pursuit of your purpose, and the fulfillment of God's call on your life. Another sign that God is preparing to restore your wasted years is the renewed peace that will settle over your heart. Peace in this context is not just the absence of stress, but the deep sense of knowing that God is with you and that He is in control. When you've gone through difficult seasons, when time seems wasted and circumstances feel hopeless, it's easy to become overwhelmed by worry, fear, or regret. But when God is about to restore what has been lost, He replaces that anxiety with peace. This peace isn't dependent on external circumstances or the approval of others. It comes from knowing that God is sovereign, that He is making a way for you, and that He is in control of your future. This peace goes beyond just feeling good. It is a spiritual assurance that God is working in ways you cannot see. It's a peace that holds you steady even when the road ahead seems uncertain. In the past, you might have been anxious about your future, unsure of what was next. But as restoration begins to unfold, you will feel a deep, abiding calm, even in the face of challenges. This peace is a sign that God is not only at work in your circumstances, but that He is working in your heart to prepare you for what's coming. It's a peace that allows you to move forward without fear, knowing that you are held by the hands of a loving and faithful God. Alongside this peace, you will also notice an increasing joy in your life. Joy is a fruit of the Holy Spirit, and when God is about to restore your wasted years, He fills your heart with joy that is not based on what is happening around you, but on the certainty of His love and faithfulness. This joy is not fleeting or circumstantial, it is rooted in the deep assurance that God is for you. Even in the midst of waiting or challenges, you will find yourself laughing again, smiling and embracing life with a renewed sense of gratitude. This joy serves as a reminder that God is doing something beautiful in your life, even if it's not yet fully visible. Joy also signals the presence of God in your life. It's a reflection of His Spirit at work in you, restoring and renewing your heart. This joy will be contagious to those around you. They will begin to see a change in your attitude and demeanor, and it will draw others to you. Where there was once sorrow, frustration, or discouragement, there is now an unmistakable joy that shows others that God is doing something remarkable in your life. You are no longer defined by your past struggles, but by the hope and joy that come from walking with God. Another sign that God is about to restore your wasted years is the acceleration of your progress. When God is preparing you for a season of restoration, you'll notice that things start moving faster than you expected. Opportunities that once seemed distant or impossible will suddenly appear, and you will find yourself making rapid strides toward your goals. The work that once felt slow and painstaking will now feel like it's moving in alignment with God's timing. You'll feel a sense of momentum, and what once felt like it was dragging on will now begin to come together quickly. This acceleration is not something you can manufacture on your own. It is the work of God in your life, opening doors, shifting circumstances, and bringing things into alignment for your benefit. The challenges you faced before may have slowed your progress, but God is now speeding up the process of restoration. You will begin to see things fall into place in a way that feels almost effortless, as though God is making everything come together for your good. This acceleration will give you the confidence to keep moving forward, knowing that you are on the right track and that God's hand is guiding every step. The final sign that God is about to restore your wasted years is the presence of divine favor. When God's favor is at work, doors open, hearts are softened, and opportunities are given that you could not have earned on your own. This favor is not based on your performance or merit, but on God's goodness and grace. As you walk in His restoration, you'll find that doors open at the right time. People are willing to help and support you, and things begin to fall into place in unexpected ways. This favor is a clear indication that God is actively working to bring about the restoration of your wasted years. One of the first signs that God is preparing to restore your wasted years is a deep and profound shift within you. Often after experiencing disappointment, failure, or loss, it can feel as if your spirit has become heavy. The passion you once had for your dreams may feel extinguished, and the vision of a bright future seems distant. But when God is about to restore, He begins with an internal shift. You might notice a change in how you feel, a stirring in your heart that says, it's time to move forward. This shift in your spirit often feels like a weight being lifted, a new sense of hope taking root. It is a divine assurance that the past seasons of struggle were not in vain, and that God is about to bring you into a new season of restoration and growth. It's as if the fog in your soul starts to lift, and you begin to feel clarity, purpose, and a renewed sense of optimism about the future. This internal shift goes beyond just an emotional feeling. It is a transformation in your spirit. You begin to see the world through new eyes. Where once you may have been disheartened by past failures, you now find yourself filled with a fresh sense of determination. Where you once felt stuck or hopeless, you now have a new sense of direction. This inner change allows you to believe once again that God is at work, even in situations that seemed hopeless. This shift is the beginning of God's work to restore your wasted years and bring you into a new season of blessings and opportunities. It marks the moment when you move from a place of resignation to a place of anticipation, knowing that your best days are ahead of you. Another key indicator of God's restoration is the renewed opportunities that begin to emerge in your life. During seasons of hardship, opportunities often seem scarce. Dreams can feel out of reach, and doors seem to remain closed. But when God is about to restore, the floodgates of opportunity begin to open in ways you never expected. These opportunities may come in various forms: career advancements, new relationships, unexpected favor, or even a change of environment. It's as though God is arranging circumstances to place you in the right position at the right time. Opportunities in themselves are a powerful sign that God is actively working to restore what has been lost. He will often place people and circumstances in your path that are divinely orchestrated to align with His plan for your life. You may be presented with chances you thought you missed, or situations that at one time seemed impossible. The key here is to recognize that these opportunities are not just coincidences, but are part of God's divine timing and plan to restore your wasted years. He is positioning you for something greater, and the opportunities that begin to emerge will help you move forward and fulfill the purposes He has for you. This is a time for you to take bold steps, trusting that God is guiding your path and preparing the way for your restoration. In addition to the internal shift and new opportunities, another sign of God's restoration is the realignment of your dreams and vision. During seasons of hardship, our dreams often get buried beneath the weight of life's challenges. We may doubt that we will ever achieve the things we once hoped for. But when God is about to restore your wasted years, He will breathe life back into those dormant dreams. Suddenly you will feel the stirring of purpose again, and the passions you once had will begin to reawaken. Your vision for the future will become clearer, and you will find yourself dreaming bigger and more confidently than before. Alongside the revival of dreams comes the realignment of opportunities and resources. In seasons of waiting or struggle, it can feel as though opportunities are scarce and resources are out of reach. However, when God is restoring what was lost, He begins to align opportunities and resources with your purpose. This might mean new doors opening for career advancements, new relationships, or unexpected provisions. Where once you struggled to find the right connections or the resources you needed, now they seem to come effortlessly. It's as though God is arranging the circumstances around you, setting the stage for your restoration. Opportunities that once seemed impossible or far off will suddenly appear, and you'll be in the right place at the right time. Resources, whether they be financial, relational, or spiritual, will begin to fall into place. This divine alignment is a clear indication that God is actively working on your behalf, orchestrating the pieces of your life to bring about the restoration of the years that were lost. One of the most encouraging signs that God is restoring your wasted years is the peace and joy that return to your life. After going through seasons of struggle, it's easy to feel disconnected from the joy and peace that once characterized your heart. But when God begins His work of restoration, He fills you with a peace that surpasses understanding. This peace isn't based on external circumstances. It is an inner assurance that God is in control and that He is working all things together for your good. When peace returns, it calms the anxiety that once plagued you. You no longer feel overwhelmed by what's ahead because you know God has a plan and that He is faithful to fulfill it. Along with peace, joy also begins to revive in your heart. The joy of the Lord is your strength, and it becomes a sign that God's restorative work is in motion. Even in the midst of challenges, you will experience a joy that isn't contingent upon your circumstances. It's a deep, abiding joy that comes from knowing that God's love and faithfulness are at work in your life. This peace and joy are not only signs of restoration, but also become a testimony to those around you of God's goodness and His ability to heal and restore. The most tangible sign that God is restoring your wasted years is the healing of broken areas of your life. Whether it's emotional wounds, damaged relationships, or lost opportunities, God is a healer, and His restorative work brings healing in every area. When God restores, He doesn't just return what was lost, He makes all things new. You may begin to experience emotional healing from past hurts, allowing you to forgive and let go of bitterness. Relationships that were once strained may begin to heal and be restored, bringing peace and reconciliation. What was once broken is now being made whole. This healing is a sign that God is doing a deep, transformative work in your life. As you experience His healing, you will also begin to see the fullness of restoration in other areas. The years that felt wasted are now redeemed, and you can move forward in your journey with a renewed heart and restored vision. Through this healing, God makes you whole and equips you to step into the new season He has prepared for you.